Tonight, BGSU students will pitch their business ideas to successful Falcon alumni investors vying for real money to fund their businesses. With the help of their mentors, the hatchlings have spent the last several months preparing for tonight. Coming to you live from the Robert W. and Patricia A. Maurer Center, welcome to The Hatch.
Good evening and welcome to the 8th Annual Hatch. I am Ray Braun, a proud alumnus of BGSU and Dean of the Schmidhorst College of Business. We are pleased to be broadcasting live this evening from the Robert W. and Patricia A. Maurer Center on the campus of Bowling Green State University. We will be following university guidelines for COVID-19 and practicing social distancing during this event. The Hatch kicks off our celebration of Alan W. and Carol M. Schmidhorst College of Business Week. Tomorrow at 6 p.m., we will have a dedication ceremony for the Robert W. and Patricia A. Maurer Center, the new home of the Schmidhorst College. On Saturday at 6 p.m., we will induct Richard Allen, Bethany Bryant, Alan Green, and Bradley Seaman into the Paul J. Hooker Center for Entrepreneurial Leadership Hall of Fame. Both events will be streamed live for you to view and participate virtually. Check the BGSU Facebook page for the YouTube Live link. Tonight, you will have the opportunity to meet 8 young entrepreneurs we fondly refer to as hatchlings. The hatchlings will pitch their business ideas to the Falcon investors, a panel of alumni prepared to fund those business ideas they believe will be successful. Each hatchling has completed a 10-week mentorship program with an alumni mentor who will be with them virtually this evening. We have hundreds of Hatch Watch parties occurring throughout Ohio and the United States. For those of you tweeting about tonight's program, please use the hashtag #HatchTheHatch2020. Before beginning our program, I would like to introduce the president of Bowling Green State University, Rodney Rogers.
Good evening, everyone. I am so pleased to be joining you for tonight's event at the Maurer Center, the new home of the Schmidhorst College of Business. I cannot think of a more fitting place to host our virtual hat event. For 8 years now, students have embraced the entrepreneurial spirit and have worked with alumni mentors and investors to pitch and build out ideas and concepts with the hopes of driving the vitality of our communities. As Dean Braun mentioned, this fall is a momentous time for our College of Business. A new name, recognizing a transformational gift and a new state-of-the-art facility that showcases our commitment to business education for many years to come. And so, we are so appreciative of Al and Carol Schmidhorst and Bob and Pat Maurer for their support of current and future students. Tonight's event is virtual, and yes, our university's focus since March has been on navigating the COVID-19 global pandemic. However, I am struck that we are still here tonight finding innovative and creative ways to pursue and create new knowledge. And that is exactly what a public university does, driving public good. At BGSU, we are preparing future business leaders. The Hatch reminds us that we must ensure that our students are leaders who certainly understand the importance of maximizing shareholder value, but also recognize that that is a short-term and fleeting goal. We must educate future business leaders who understand that our economy must serve not just some, but each member of our society. This is what it means to create public good, and our future depends on it. So, the show goes on for the Hatch. This is going to be an exciting night. I want to thank our alumni mentors and investors for their entrepreneurial leadership and support. I cannot wait to see how our hatchlings do. Aye, Ziggy Zumba.
Thank you, President Rogers. I'd now like to thank the PNC Foundation, a longtime Hatch sponsor. It is my pleasure to introduce PNC Bank President William McDonald.
Thanks, Ray. PNC is proud of its partnership with BGSU and the hard work and ingenuity that its students have displayed throughout the Hatch. As you're all aware, this has been an unpredictable year with unique challenges. With the finale moved to the fall, We have hatchlings here with us live and remote because they have since graduated and no longer live near campus. Regardless, student worked with faculty and an alumni mentor to develop their business idea and prepare themselves for tonight's event. The fact that the students and faculty have the same drive and enthusiasm to put on the program tonight as they did in the spring speaks to the strength of the entrepreneurial program, the Schmidt-Horst College of Business, and BGSU overall. I am sure everyone is anxious to hear the presentations from these student entrepreneurs, but before I go, I want to wish each and every one of the talented participants the best of luck. BGSU is a public university for the public good, and we applaud these students and their innovative ideas that will help shape the future. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoy your evening.
Thank you, Bill. We greatly appreciate PNC's commitment to furthering entrepreneurship in Northwest Ohio. Now I'll turn the program over to our host, Kirk D. Kern, the director of the Paul J. Hooker Center for Entrepreneurial Leadership.
Thank you, Dean Braun, and welcome everyone watching our broadcast tonight. Let me remind you, this is a live broadcast, so you might hear some things and see some things that maybe or may not, you would not necessarily see during some other type of broadcast. So it's live, so you know it. Anyway, tonight you are going to meet some amazing young entrepreneurs. During our 2019 fall semester, we solicited business ideas from students throughout the university's Maine and Firelands campuses. Over 100 applicants were received and 8 student business ideas and 1 alumni idea was selected as hatchlings for the 2020 Hatch program. Over the past 8 years, we have continuously improved our program. Tonight, students will ask the Falcon investors for some type of investment. Some students will be asking for incubation. This year, we'll be working with our friends and colleagues at NC State's clinic to incubate our hatchlings. So what's incubation? It focuses on helping the student prove their concept, start the venture, and prepare the funding for their businesses. During incubation, pro bono legal services will be provided by the law firm of Yorkovich and Debo in Cleveland. You will soon meet hatchlings and mentors. But first, let's meet the Falcon investors, a group of alumni ready, willing, and able to fund our hatchlings tonight. Joseph Fish Jr. is the founder, president, and CEO of United States Beverage. Mr. Fish has over 45 years of experience in the premium alcoholic beverage industry, and under his leadership, U.S. Beverage has attained worldwide recognition. Joe and his wife Gail are Falcon Flames and are both 1971 BGSU graduates. George Heath is a retired group president at Sherwin-Williams in Cleveland. He is actively involved in education, teaching economics and entrepreneurship at University School in the Cleveland metropolitan area. George was a BGSU athlete and earned his bachelor's in fine arts degree from BGSU in 1987. Emmanuel Manicanti is an operating partner for Welsh, Carson, Anderson, and Stowe, a private equity firm based in New York City. During his career, he has been CEO of 2 companies and has 25 years of experience in software, business information, and technology-enabled services. He is a board member of 3 technology companies currently. He also is chair-elect of the BGSU Foundation Board. Manny is a BGSU alum and graduated with a finance degree in 1989. Mark C. West is the retired president of Shared Clarity. Mark and his family call Phoenix, Arizona home. Currently, Mark is focused on providing venture capital to startups, including Magna Holder, working with former hatchling Sarah Yarger. Mark is a 1990 graduate of Bowling Green State University's College of Business and is married to his Falcon Flame, Julie. Matthew Yorkovich is a founding partner of Yorkovich and Debo, a boutique law firm in downtown Cleveland. Matt is passionate about Cleveland's revitalization and works with community development corporations on real estate acquisition, redevelopment, and small business advising. Matt graduated from BGSU in 1999 and is married to his Falcon Flame, Michelle, better known as Dr. D, a past Falcon investor. So Falcons, tonight you have the opportunity to help 8 BGSU hatchlings start their businesses. Each hatchling has been paired with a mentor, and together they have been preparing their presentations just for you. Here's the pitch format for tonight. Each hatchling will introduce themselves and define their ask. They will then have 4 minutes to present their business ideas. They will be recorded tonight. Once that occurs, you will have 6 minutes to ask questions and make offers. We'll be doing the negotiations live tonight. I'll announce a 2-minute warning, which will signify time is running out. Mark West is our lead investor tonight. Earl Malm's been in that chair for a long time, and Mark is filling some big shoes tonight. Mark, do you have any wisdom for our hatchlings before we get started?
Thank you, Kirk. Well, I don't know if I have any words of wisdom, but I do have a few items to share with the audience. First of all, as you could tell, we have a really good investor panel again. Some new faces and many familiar. And all of these individuals are willing to offer their personal funding, their time, their connections, and resources towards hatchlings that they establish a relationship with. And for the hatchlings, today is a big day. They're early in their entrepreneurial journey, and while they've gone through this 10-week program, I want to keep in mind to everybody that these are still concepts. These are not operational companies, and they are working towards that. But today's an important learning experience for them in that they're learning how to sell and raise capital to start their enterprise. And this is an important skill that they'll need throughout their career. Everything we're doing today is real time. The investors have had an opportunity to see some business plan materials. We just got a sneak peek of some of their presentations, but it's the first time that we get the opportunity to ask questions and discuss their offering that they're making to the investors. So there is no predetermined outcomes. What you're seeing is happening real time. Once the presentations are made and the discussions start, there's really 3 outcomes that can happen with the investors. One is that the investors decide to pass on the opportunity. All of these ideas are very, very good. But sometimes investors have certain interests and certain fits that they work with. And if the investors feel that they can't add value to the relationship, and it might be better for them to have a different partner, then they'll pass on the opportunity. The other, as Kirk mentioned, is incubation. This is where they're headed in the right direction and maybe need a little refinement in what they're doing. And the investors, all 5 of us have agreed that if 3 of us support incubation for a hatchling, we'll all agree to go in together, and all 5 of us will agree to fund. And then the last investment or investor decision is just a traditional investment. There's interest by the investor. We believe the hatchling is ready, and the next milestones that they have shared seem logical, and an investment is made. And this could be done by a few of the investors getting together and offering a package to the hatchling, or it could just be one single investor, which periodically happens. So Kirk, on behalf of the investors, we are ready to hatch some deals.
All right, that's what I like to hear. Now we know, Mark and all, that not everyone will get funds tonight. We know that. This is business, and you're going to hear me say this probably more times than not tonight. It's not personal, it's just business. So remember that line. It's not personal, it's just business. All of you watching live tonight have the opportunity to comment on deals as they happen. As Dean Braun mentioned, we have a special Twitter feed set up. It will be projected throughout the night, so tweet your thoughts at using hashtag, or by using the hashtag #TheHatch2020. Hashtag #TheHatch2020. Love to see us on Twitter tonight trending. That would be amazing if we could do it. We've done it in the past. Also tonight, you will have the chance to vote for the Eggie. That's right, it's the Eggie. As of now, you can vote online at bgsu.edu/hatch vote. You can only vote once for the student's idea that you like best. At the end of the evening, Dean Braun and I will be awarding the Eggie to the hatchling who has received the most votes for you. Now, something new this year. I'm sorry I've got so many things going on for you, but I've got to explain. As you see me holding my phone, this is called Mentor in the Hand. Tonight, usually, all of our Hatch mentors are with us during the live Hatch event to support their hatchlings. But tonight, they will all be virtual. Each hatchling, as they negotiate, will have communication with their mentors via telephone. So when you watch them pick it up, they're not calling for pizza. They're calling their mentor and they have a conversation. All right, here's something new. It's called the Ziggy Wall. Over my shoulder, we have over 50 devoted fans watching live with us tonight. Super, super cool. You'll be able to watch their reactions throughout the broadcast. Look at them go. That's our Ziggy Wall. Awesome. And also, I thought I'd tell you just a quick second about where our investors are located, because it's kind of cool. Mark West is on the top for me. He is in Phoenix, Arizona, nice and sunny there, 100 degrees, I think I heard Mark say. And then over to my right is Joe Fish. He's in Connecticut. I think it's probably snowing there, isn't it, Joe? It's snowing in Connecticut? That's good, you're smiling.
This weekend.
Yeah, that's weekend, all right. And then we've got two guys from the Midwest. We've got George in Cleveland, and we've got Matt in Cleveland, and then we've got Manny in his own country. He's in New Jersey. Well, I think maybe it's not a country, it's a state. All right. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to hatch some deals. First into the nest tonight is Katie Linger. Katie calls Wadsworth, Ohio home. She's a third-year honors student in the College of Education and Human Development. She is studying world language education and pursuing her goal of becoming a Spanish teacher. Muy bien. That's all I know. On campus, Katie works with the Office of Residence Life as a resident advisor in Founders Hall. Through her involvement on campus and with the community organizations, she developed her idea called Circle U. It is a networking app that's aimed at helping college students expand their social connections beyond their own social circle. Expectant mom, past hatchling, and founder of the Black Swamp Fine Arts School, Sophia Gerald, has mentored Miss Linger. Katie, it's your turn to wow the Falcons.
Hello, investors. My name is Katie Linger, and today I'm here seeking funding for my company, Circle U. You 5 are here today as alumni because of the connections you've made at BG that keep you, all jokes aside, invested in this school and in its students. In my 2 years at BGSU, I've had the opportunity as both an alumni laureate scholar and a resident advisor to act as a liaison between BGSU alumni, staff, and students. The connections we make are vital on several fronts. Increasing student connections and involvements on campus, according to leading research, increases student well-being, retention rates, post-graduation involvement, and alumni charitable giving. Over the years, the alumni and staff I've spoken with have repeatedly expressed a desire to meaningfully connect with more students. However, they've also expressed frustrations with the current methods and effectiveness of initiating these connections. And according to a survey of 80 alumni and staff, over half reported feeling as though students do not understand the resources that campus offices, alumni, and staff have to offer. As a student leader on campus, I can understand why. Our current outreach methods are both impersonal and generally ineffective at establishing real connections. There is, however, one foolproof way of ensuring that students are genuinely interested: extending personal invitations. This is what led me to create the solution, Circle U. Circle U is a personalized mobile networking platform designed to revolutionize the way students meet people and get involved at college. Circle U follows a subscription-based model, encouraging users at a subscribing university to match students with friends, mentors, and even prospective significant others, as well as student organizations and campus events. Student organizations can also use Circle U to post event information for students to see. All of this through one all-encompassing platform. So let's say there's a student named Charlie Smith, and Charlie tells his professor, Kurt Kern, that he's interested in starting a nonprofit for young entrepreneurs. Kurt Kern knows just the man Charlie ought to talk to, BG alumnus Paul Hooker. So Kurt Kern opens his Circle U app and confidently connects Charlie and Paul using the mentor feature on the app's main menu, knowing that Paul is an active user and won't mind, because Circle U allows both Paul and Charlie's information to remain entirely confidential throughout the exchange. Charlie then gets a notification saying that he's been matched with a mentor, Paul Hooker. Motivated by the app's professional timeliness countdown feature, he quickly reaches out to Paul and shares his email. Paul responds by scheduling a Zoom meeting so that the two of them can meet in person and Charlie can hatch his idea. Believe it or not, alumni and staff are already on board with this idea. Of those surveyed, 2/3 expressed a desire to use Circle U, and 90% of alumni and staff surveyed said that they were likely to meet with a student if a mutual acquaintance suggested they connect. Universities, especially now in the midst of a global pandemic and on the brink of an eligible student shortage, are seeking innovative ways to enhance the student experience and to increase retention. Circle U is the solution. With 19.9 million college students enrolled in the US, selling a subscription to just 1% of target market universities for $4.18 per student would generate $832,000 in annual revenue. My projections anticipate reaching this 1% of the target market by year 5, with the first $100,000 in revenue generated in year 2, break even in year 3, and almost $600,000 in profit in that year 5. Tonight, I'm asking for $15,000 in investment in Circle U in exchange for 15% equity. This funding would be used to partner with software developers and generate an MVP for beta use. So, investors, who among you is ready to connect so that we can go out and make more connections?
So, Katie Linger, it's Circle U, $15,000 ask, 15% equity, valuation of the business, the idea is $100,000. Manny, you know, Facebook got started in a college dorm. Did you know that? I mean, you're in New Jersey. You should know that.
Yes.
So you're interested?
We heard about it even here in New Jersey.
Tell me about tell me about Circle U. You interested?
Well, I think, Katie, you've created a big, audacious idea, that's for sure, and you're going after the titans of industry and social networking. And I love the tech side of this. The question I have for you is, what made so many of the social networking platforms work was that they were free. But your platform is subscription-based, and it's targeting universities to pay a target market that, quite frankly, has tight budgets. How do you think about overcoming that?
So there were two primary considerations that went into Circle U's price model, and those are, firstly, the price of comparable learning management systems that universities currently use, as well as current networking systems that they're implementing. The second is the overall value added that Circle U adds for universities in terms of student retention. So on average, a public university loses about $13 million in revenue annually due to student attrition, or losing a student before they graduate. For example, at BGSU, if BGSU were to have a subscription to this service, it would cost BG $80,000 per year to have a subscription to Circle U. And they would only have to retain 2 students in their freshman year in order to actually pay off that subscription for that year. So really, the primary selling factor of Circle U to universities is the overall low financial risk to value added ratio in terms of student retention.
That's a great answer, and I just want to remind everybody that we've got 6 minutes to negotiate. George, your head is shaking. You've got college-age students, don't you? Circle U, something you're excited about?
I do. I'm really intrigued. One of the questions I have to follow Manny is, in this space, you mentioned in your plan programs like Handshake and Presence. Is there a reason they haven't gained much traction?
Yeah, so programs like Presence currently are not available as a mobile platform. So Presence, for those who don't know, is a platform used for campus offices and organizations to post information about their organization. However, it does not allow the model does not allow for students to share event information with one another, nor is it, like, as a user of Presence, as someone who has been a part of campus organizations and has used the platform, it's generally not it's not user friendly. And what was the second one that you mentioned?
Handshake.
Handshake. So Handshake is a networking platform similar to LinkedIn that's university specific. And similar to LinkedIn, all it really accomplishes is allowing students to form connections with people whom they already know and jobs that they already know exist. So what sets Circle U aside from those platforms is the capacity to actually create a kind of university culture in which various university affiliates are able to connect students with resources that they don't know exist, and thus expand their social circle and their potential for making connections.
I've got just under 3 minutes. 15,000, 15%, 15,000, 15%. Anybody else want in here for some questions? Or do I get a deal someplace? Or don't I get a deal? Come on. Matthew.
You know, I really liked your presentation. I liked some of the visuals of the demo that you provided. I thought that they were attractive and inviting. I thought they looked good. I really appreciated the answers to the questions about the competitors. I think a lot of times people kind of neglect that, and I thought you did a good job answering those questions. You know, I think this is an interesting need, and I think it's unique that you're marketing it to the universities. And so I like that model. I like that you're able to demonstrate kind of what it would cost BGSU to pay for it. I do this in my profession quite a bit. I connected people a couple times today, and I've got to do it. You know, someone text messages me, then I've got to send an email kind of connecting people. And so I think you're onto something with the idea. You know, and so I'm in support of it for those reasons.
15,000, 15K. Need to make a deal. I'm under 2 minutes. Joe, you're quiet up there. Is that okay? You in, you out? You shake it all about?
Well, I'm curious. First of all, Katie, you've done a great job with the presentation and the answers to some very good questions. My question is, and it's very similar to one that was posed before, is what is the difference between what you're proposing and the Athlete Network, which is an app that athletes, primarily in Division I schools, have that have on hand? And how would you expand your universe into other universities? Because I think that's where your money's going to be made with the expansion of that. So I'm curious. It's going to take a lot of time. Talk to Jacob Kielmeyer, who is a former hatchling, who is doing a wonderful job creating an app. In his case, it's taking much longer, much more expensive than he originally thought. So I want to get your ideas in terms of the difference between the apps that are out there now and how you would really drive the business beyond Bowling Green.
So, Katie, I need you to answer it quickly. We're under a minute.
All right, so the answer to your first question is I am unfamiliar with that platform for athletes. However, I would be open to taking a look at the services that it offers and integrating some of those ideas into Circle U. In regards to pricing for hiring out, there are two ways that we could go in terms of programming. One is that we could go with a programming firm, an established programming firm, and then the alternative, which is what I'm leaning towards, is contracting talented, experienced student programmers as part of our project in getting an MVP out there. And I think that if we focus now on creating a really great user experience, then we can really drive that home.
Mark, last word. What are we going to do here? I got 15K ask. I got 15% equity. You get the last word, Mark West.
Do I get to ask a question?
You can do anything you want. You're the boss.
All right. My question, perfect. Katie, tell me how alumni, students, and others would be entered. Do the students and alumni have to enter their own, or are the university entering that information and having get their okay and approval to be part of it?
So anyone who has a student email would automatically be part of the program and have an account. And alumni can opt in through their own personal emails.
Let's start with Manny where I left off, or where I started at the beginning. Manny, you in, you out?
Katie, will Dr. Rogers and BGSU commit?
Good question.
Are they in?
I I have reason to believe that BGSU, among other universities, are very focused on increasing student retention right now, especially through manners such as connecting incoming freshmen with current students, and I think Circle U would be the perfect platform through which to do that. So I do think that BGSU and President Rogers will be on board, and I am excited to talk to them about that potential.
So where are we going here?
What other investors would be in the event that we got support from the university to make this a pilot program or use this technology?
I've got one George thumbs up.
Well, let me make it. I really like the idea, and I really like the idea where I could use a little more help is in the value proposition, and I think that's where Manny was going. The concept and idea is great, but before you build it and they will come, I think what we're looking for is that you get a customer and you identify if it's a university, who's the decision maker, and work with them to develop a value prop to help quantify it a little more. You mentioned that there's some systems that could be sunsetted, and there's retention, student retention opportunities. To help quantify those, to make this more a self-funding initiative where the university realizes there's a payback. I think if you had a university and there was a payback for that university that was defined and they agreed upon it, for me, I would be a lot closer to thinking you're ready to, for an investment and to start some of the development.
So I've got to move on. So what I'm seeing here is that I've got a couple of thumbs up. I just need to know what we're going to do. Is it we got a deal or no deal? We want to incubate? Do we want to put it in the parking lot, have some additional conversation, and circle back to it? I think that everybody agrees that this is a good idea, but you're not quite ready to invest fully in it. And that's what I'm hearing.
To Mark's point, I would support incubation.
Incubation? I've got 2 heads shaking yes, 3 heads?
Yes.
So I got,
yes.
All right, incubation.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is we're going to work on this
3
idea.
and all in.
So we've got a full, congratulations, you're going to go incubate with our friends at NC State. That's
Fantastic.
it. That's the way she works. Congratulations. Rounds of applause for Miss Katie Linger.
Great job. Great job, Katie.
Katie, well done. All right. Look at all the Ziggy wall going crazy. That's what we want to see. All right, let's move on. It took us a little longer, but sometimes out of the gate, guys, we gotta just take our time. That's good. First, as we move through this tonight, I want to thank our great friends, Bill McDonald from PNC Foundation. They have been tremendous supporters in the last 7 years, maybe even 8 years, for PNC Foundation. Bill, thank you so much. We could not do this broadcast without you. All right, next up is T.J. Donch. T.J. Donch from Chagrin Falls, Ohio, is a recent graduate of the College of Business. He majored in marketing with a minor in entrepreneurship. His idea is called coordination, a simple Newtangle way to wrap up electrical tools. TJ spent the last 2 years as an RA in Falcon Heights. He enjoys playing piano, cooking, and playing video and board games. TJ now lives, just relocated, to Hillsboro, Oregon. Bruce Fisher, a 1968 BG alum and retired C-suite executive in the pool industry, mentored Mr. Donch. Hey, Bruce, glad you're with us tonight. TJ, say hello to the Falcons, all the way from Oregon.
Hi, my name is TJ Donch, and I graduated from Bowling Green State University this past May with a degree in marketing and a minor in entrepreneurship. I'm here to talk about coordination, a new innovative device that solves an ongoing problem that almost everyone faces. Has this ever happened to you? Picture this. You're attempting to set up the house for the holidays. You open the storage bin filled with lights and some massive rat's nest. What about your office space? What do the cords and wires underneath your desk look like? Have you ever spent more than 5 minutes untangling earbuds? It's absolutely terrible. Some of you may have a jumbled mess of cords underneath your desk right now. For many, this problem is a huge day-to-day hassle. So just how big is this problem? Cords, cables, and wires are everywhere, and they are used by just about everybody. They help us keep connected to one another. For some people, however, this just isn't a top-of-the-mind problem. You may not think about tangled wires on a day-to-day basis, or you may believe this problem has just no good answer. People of all ages suffer from tangled or messy cords, whether it be holiday string lights, headphones, chargers, extension cords, or audio-video cables. Many of us have transitioned to working or studying remotely, so living spaces have become makeshift workstations. These remote workspaces have caused many new organizational and safety challenges, and with coordination, we want to help solve them. So, how does this product work?
Here's some traditional headphones without the product. It's tangled, it's a mess, it takes forever to pull apart. Here's a concept of the product. You can see it's tucked away, organized, tightly wound, it's not going anywhere. Then you take that little bundle, slide it off of the pegs, and you just pull each end apart. It's tangle-free. Simple, quick, easy.
Coordination is different in its design and innovation. This plastic device comes in different sizes to ensure a proper fit for any standard office cord, taking length and thickness into account. The key to its success is the wrapping technique that allows for a tangle-free unwrapping experience. The product can also click together to form a link for easy, effective storage. The possibilities for this product's application is nearly endless. Coordination places high importance on this problem's variety, offering customized solutions for varying cord length or thickness. We want to focus on the needs of the end user and design the product around them. We are targeting people who seek control and organization in their daily lives, and for those seeking efficiency and ease at every turn. The end user's experience is imperative to this product's success. If it doesn't work for them, why bother? We believe that coordination can succeed in the market, but that it requires additional proof. A short-run test market would allow us to collect precious active user data that would benefit our plans tremendously. We want to produce a batch of 100 units and sell them to the public and assess their feedback. We can make product, packaging, and pricing adjustments as necessary. Here are some pricing and forecasting estimates. To earn $100,000, we would have to sell about 7,000 packages, with a profit of about 50%. Coordination's smallest size sells for $10 and it costs roughly $4 to produce. Each singular box package includes 3 units of one selected size. So, I'm seeking $10,000 in exchange for 10% of the business. This investment will go towards securing intellectual property, such as filing for a utility patent. After this step, coordination will be sold in a short-run test market. This will help achieve an accurate voice of customer, proof of concept, and it can help refine the packaging if necessary. These results can greatly strengthen coordination's value, brand, and market potential. After these steps are complete, we want to pursue a licensing deal with a large company that can mass produce coordination, who has access to market. Thank you all for listening, and a special thanks to Director Kern for making this all possible. Coordination. Let's wrap this up.
I like the end. That was good. TJ Donch, coordination, $10,000 ask, 10% equity, $100,000 valuation. George, I don't know about you, but in my garage and in my house, I've got all kinds of cords, and most of them are not wrapped up the way I'd like to have them wrapped up. You have the same problem?
Kirk, I'm with you. Just to make this event happen, I've got 20 cords on my desk as we speak. So I definitely need to get better coordinated.
Excellent.
If I said that right, TJ.
You did.
TJ, I love the idea. I've got 2 questions, both IP related.
Sure.
The first one is the product unique enough to seek a patent? Have you done a little work in that front? And just searching the web a little bit, I found a product line called Coordinate, kind of stealing your idea, but without the shun part. Do you believe it's trademarkable? So those are the 2 issues I have for you.
Sure. So to address the first concern, we actually just found out that the original patent was filed today. So there's already an application for it. We've already kind of enhancing intellectual property protection. And that's why I'm doing this a little bit close to the chest. That's why I'm only doing concepts to the public right now. After this is over, I can send you more detailed schematics. The product is designed to be completely different. It's totally designed different than any other product out there right now. Some products that offer combinations of things, but they don't truly solve the issue the same way that mine does. It may keep things on your desk, things tightly wound, but my product's a combination of all different things, and I've also not seen them together in a link.
So I'm having some trouble hearing TJ all the way. I don't know if you investors are as well. I will tell you this, that what he is saying, from the best of my knowledge, is that there has been a provisional file today, which I know is to be true. So there's that, George. And the other piece, I think, TJ, can you hear me okay? Maybe he can't hear me. I really can't interpret his last question. So I apologize for that. George, you have some interest in it. I think, could you hear him in his response or not?
Yeah, I could hear him adequately enough. I'd like to hear a little bit more in the future about what other patent minefield lies out there in this area. But the answer was adequate. Thanks.
Okay, so 10,000, 10%. Anybody else, hands in the air that tells me that they want to talk about this? Or should we just fold this thing down, put it away, and coordinate it later? Mark West, you're smiling. Tell me about it. You got a bunch of cords in that house out there in sunny Phoenix?
Absolutely. I always have a ton of cords or tripping over them all the time. And I think everybody does. Tell me a little bit, TJ, about the competition and the price points. I know that you have some unique features, but this is kind of it's a retail product. People are kind of usually price sensitive to it, or they kind of come up with their own rubber bands or Velcro cords and things like that. So tell me about your pricing compared to some of the competitors that kind of solve a similar problem.
Sure. So by no means do I position my product as a premium good, and I also don't position the brand as a commodity. So that perfect sweet spot of a product that's worthwhile. And that's one of the biggest things about this test market that I want to do is, kind of find out how sensitive customers are. Is this price too expensive? Is it so inexpensive that it's cheap quality and they're going to buy it, they don't waste their time and money on it. So for me, I'm targeting people with a certain demographic that want to purchase a product to solve the problem. There are a lot of solutions out there, and I myself with some DIY solutions, and one of them, in the coordination. So for me, I'm actually people that are tired of this problem. They're tired of this robot or DIY solutions being inadequate, and they want to purchase something better for them. So the test market will help us figure out those perfect price points. So we've got about 3.5 minutes or so. Good questions. Again, it's difficult for me to understand and hear everything that's going on because of some latency issues. Are you ready? Are you interested in making a deal tonight? I mean, one of the things, TJ, that you were talking about is doing a short run. And I know you need 10K, 10%. I think this is an interesting idea. I've seen it. I've watched him go through the process. TJ's a really great student and a great young man. So his heart is in this thing as well. That's kind of the cool part. Any other questions that anybody wants?
I had a question, Kirk.
Yeah, go, Manny.
TJ, you can see, you're putting your marketing skills to work already. I love the branding and very clever around your positioning. My question is around the use of the product. Is this when you're finished using the product, such as, earbuds, or while they're being in use, like a bunch of cords connected to your TV and receiver and other things? Because that wasn't clear to me.
Sure. So fantastic question. The great thing about this product is that it can do both of those things. So for me, I set out to design a product that was customizable and flexible and modular, something that you can take your headphones, right, go into class, wound it up, stick it in your pocket, right, and it takes no more space than a wallet would. Also, for the remote worker or the office worker that have that rat's nest under their desk that we all so much know and hate. So for those long 20, 30-foot Ethernet cables, this product can wound up sort of that excess cord, so to speak, and keep you plugged in, but that extra bundle would be wrapped up and contained. So it's for active use and inactive passive use.
I heard that loud and clear, and man, that was good. Good to hear your voice, TJ. Yeah. So I've got some great questions. Matthew, you want in here?
I just got a question too. I had some trouble understanding the concept. I love the area he's going in, cable management, cord solutions. My market research says there's a lot of products out there, and that means it's a need, and that means a lot of people are trying to solve it. So I like that he's working on that, but maybe because he's got the provisional and he's trying to keep things close to the vest, I had a hard time conceptualizing what the function of it was. To me, it looked like it was something that could be 3D printed.
3 minutes.
And with that, I was having trouble understanding, what the utility of it was beyond it just being something that you could wrap a cord around. Could you help me understand the function and the kind of the utility process of it?
Sure. So to utilize this product to its maximum effectiveness, it's great for storage and for active use. So, for example, let's take holiday lights, Christmas lights. So you would take a large version of the product, about the size of, let's say, a ruler, and you would wrap up your string cords, and then you can click those each bundle together with the product. And then you can take that and slide it under a bed, put it into a storage bin, put it into a closet, and it's out of the way, out of mind. So it keeps things from not, sort of intermingling with each other. And then it also keeps things, kind of out of the way. So it keeps cords isolated, so to speak.
Under 2
and then
minutes.
Also, if you're just using just a pair of headphones with the product, this would be, instead of just taking the headphones and just jamming them in your pocket as you sit down to, for a lecture or whatever, you would use this product, wrap the cords around the product, and then take the product and the cord and stick it in your pocket and put it away.
All right, under 2 minutes. Joe, your hands are in the... Oh, Matt, you want to follow up? Matt?
No, I think that's enough for me.
All right. Joe?
Yeah. You had mentioned, TJ, that you would be looking to license the product eventually. Just so that I have a better understanding in terms of who the customer and consumer might be. I know who the consumer would be, but who the customer might be. What are the companies that you would look to license the brand to?
So for me, I'm currently looking at
under a minute, guys.
production companies that work with plastics and polymers. So there are a lot of B2B companies out there where, you go to them and they produce the product for you. And then, you kind of can be that front end store, and then they can be the back end production line. So by no means do I want to open up my own production facility where I'm dealing with plastic molds and everything like that, because that's where a lot of the upfront costs come from. But I'm looking into third-party companies that produce plastics on a large scale.
All right, 10,000 is this ask, 10%. I've got to move. Do I hear any deal on the table? 10%, 10,000, 10,000, 10%. I see everybody looking at each other. Mark's smiling. So, Mark, in or out? In or out?
Yes. I think it's a crowded space. I think I'd be a better customer than investor on this one.
Okay,
Doesn't quite fit my profile.
Joe, in or out?
Love the product, look for it.
Joe, in or out?
I'm a pass.
Okay, pass. Manny, in or out?
I'm out.
Okay, out.
I'm out, Kirk.
I got 5 outs, but you know what, TJ, we love you anyway. You're an awesome young guy, and congratulations for being in the hatch, and best of luck in Hillsboro, Oregon, right? Blow everybody a kiss. All right, round of applause for TJ.
Good luck,
All right.
TJ.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
You know, it helps. It takes a whole campus to raise a hatchling. Did you know that? It does. So I want to say thanks to my friend Dr. Jeff Meyer, Professor Jen Stucker, instructor and attorney Jim Rogers, Doug Miller, Esquire, and Dr. Emily Anziak and her team for all of their help in preparing our students for this year's hatch. Thank you for donating your time and expertise. We really, really appreciate it. How's my friends on the Ziggy Wall? Ziggy Wall, yeah, you can clap. How's my friends on the Ziggy Wall? Everybody happy? Are you enjoying it so far? Yeah, that's good. Ziggy Zumba. All right, friends, please welcome Brandon Bays. Brandon is a Bowling Green, Ohio native and a recent graduate of the College of Business, specializing in marketing and minoring in entrepreneurship. Brandon realized that residential trash cans blow over easily and create an ecological mess for communities, especially in Bowling Green. He has developed 2 clever ways to solve his problem, one called the can stand and the other the waste weight. Mr. Bays has been mentored by Gary Dybel, a 1997 BGSU alum and owner of soon-to-be 3 Big B Coffee locations. Brandon, now is your chance to clean up.
Hi, Falcon investors. My name is Brandon Bays, and I'm here to introduce 2 attachment systems that will help prevent your trash can from tipping, the can stand and the waste weight. Just over a year ago, After a night of windy storms, I had noticed one common sight in almost every yard. It was a tipped over trash can and trash everywhere. It's crazy to think that one plastic bottle from BG could make its way to the ocean, but it really can when it enters our drainage systems and bodies of water. With the current top-heavy design of the residential trash can, it can tip over very easy in almost any condition. Today comes the solution of the can stand and the waste weight. The can stand and waste weight are both designed to help prevent your trash can from tipping over and keep the environment clean. The can stand attaches to the back axle of your trash can and can easily flip up and down to save room in your garage. Now, the waste weight is also another solution that can be attached to the back or front of your trash can. The attachment can be attached to the front by a bracket with only 2 bolts as well. The removable waste weight is then simply put on with a wing nut, which is designed to turn with your fingers. Now, like I said, it can also be moved to the back, and that's even easier because it simply just clips on. Now to the market. The market size of the waste industry is huge. In 2019, the waste industry was worth over $2 billion and is expected to grow 5.5% in the next 7 years. The can stand is directed more towards consumers and the waste weight directed more towards municipalities. With 1% of the U.S. households times the number of trash cans that each household owns, which is 2, that's over 2.5 million cans. And with over 19,000 municipalities in the U.S., there's a lot of potential for the waste weight as well. I have given the can stand to 5 different people in BG, and they absolutely love it. I've had people telling me that their trash cans tipping over has been an issue for years. Jesse from one of the largest disposal companies in the U.S. has told me that this is a great idea and it has potential in the waste industry. He and Danny, who is an owner of a trash company, sees trash cans tipped over almost every day along their routes. While other testers have also told me that this product has worked great and that it keeps the environment clean. I've also worked with the city of BG to gain their insights on the idea. Now to the good part, the numbers. In the first year, I'd like to do a short run test using BG as a test group. In year 2, I'd like to add 2 more municipalities onto that while still selling the can stand. And in year 3, add 3 more onto that. As you can see in the graph, this is worth over $100,000 or almost worth $100,000 in just the first year alone. And that's just the waste weight. The can stand is worth a lot as well. At 1% of the population of Ohio, you can see that the potential of this product is at large. The ultimate goal is to get these cost of goods to be even lower so that the consumers can buy these products at a cheaper price. So, Falcon investors, who wants to talk some trash? I am asking $7,500 for 5% equity to become part of this great opportunity. Investing today will help me produce the short-run units that are needed to help do this test run, and it will also build my brand. So, Falcon investors, let's be green and make some at the same time.
So who wants to talk some trash? I love that line. It's Brendan Bays. He's got waste weight and can stand. $7,500 is his ask. 5% equity he's got up for sale, $150,000 valuation. In all transparency, the cans that he's talking about, I happen to be one of his users. And I've got to tell you, I live on a windy side of Bowling Green, and it works. So, Matthew, guess what? I know in Cleveland, it's not windy. There's no trash blowing around the community. Well, maybe there is.
Well, all the BGSU alumni will remember the windy days in BG are like nowhere else. And what I really like is that Brandon spent a lot of time getting some samples out there and testing the product. I think that's really important. You know, when I first heard about this, I didn't really realize it was an issue in the world. But a little bit of research told me that it is a big issue for municipalities. And all of the Cleveland Browns fans will not be surprised to know that the city of Baltimore had a big rat problem, and it was due to the trash cans tipping over. And it's documented. The municipality of the city of Baltimore had to spend a lot of money on trash cans because, you know, they were infested with rats. And so I think there's something to this, and I really like that he spent a lot of time getting the product out there and testing it. I have some questions. You know, our program is a municipal program, and in that municipal program, the city actually owns the trash cans, and they're provided typically by a single manufacturer. So I'm curious, in Brandon's talks with the municipalities about their ability to modify the trash cans and the machines that pick up the trash cans, as part of the new dump trucks, whether there's any negative effect on those machines that grab the trash cans.
Yeah, so I've worked with BG, like I said, and the director of the operations, he said that there wasn't really a problem with people modifying them. He didn't really want any drilling into the trash cans themselves, which these two attachments don't have any drilling into the cans. It's just bolted on to a bracket, essentially.
$7,500, 5%. Who else wants in here? George?
I did have a question. Are all trash cans designed similarly? Meaning, is there a standard template that enables these dump trucks to be able to go from municipality to state to state? Or are there variations based on the manufacturer and the trash collector? And would that be an issue or a hurdle for your product?
So there are a few brands out there. Each have a little bit of a different design as far as like kind of down by the axle, down by the wheels. But relatively it's the same.
3 minutes, guys, 3 minutes.
And it also, there's no problem with the truck picking up the trash cans themselves with the attachments on there. Like I said, Kirk has had them on there, and he's had no issues.
Actually, the guy stopped and asked me what the heck was on there, so I explained it to him, and they were excited about it. Again, I've got $7,500 for 5%, $150,000. You get two products here. You get two ideas. You get the waste weight and the can stand. Manny, you're over there, sending texts and doing some stuff. I bet you're doing research right now on the can stand and trying to figure out how you could cut this deal. Is that right?
I'm looking at his gross margins. That's exactly what I'm looking at.
I know you are.
And,
I see you working. All right.
And they're pretty good. I will say this. I don't think I'm the right investor for him, but I think he's going to make money doing this because, he's got, I think you're pricing this at $75 and your total manufacturing cost is $25. There's going to be some marketing, et cetera. But this is the business that I think you could get profitable pretty quickly. But
very cool.
But for me, just not my area of expertise.
You're out. Joe, in or out?
I have a question for Brandon. Brandon,
2 minutes.
Who are you selling to? Are you selling to a manufacturer of garbage cans, or are you selling it to a municipality, or are you selling it to the consumer, Joe Fish with his garage garbage cans? Because I think those are three different elements, and how you get to them are different for sure. But it's important in terms of your overall strategy.
So it could be sold to the people that make the trash cans themselves, but the can stand is directed towards the consumers and the waste weight towards municipalities. The waste weight's just a little bit cheaper to cost, or cheaper to make, so that would be easier to sell them in bulk, less cost to them.
I've got a minute and a half. Mark, you want in? Got a question? Joe, is that?
I got a quick question.
Okay. And then I'm going to do a roll call because we got to stay on target tonight. Mark, go.
Yeah, I'm interested. The waste the waste weight was I found very interesting. Did you get any feedback about axle breakage? You're putting a lot of weight on that axle, and those cans get slammed down. I was wondering if municipalities gave any feedback on that. And then also, if any patent or infringement, or if you've submitted a provisional on either products.
Yeah, so I did submit a provisional actually today, so that is done. And I did not receive any feedback from municipalities or from the one in BG. They didn't say anything about it being an issue. I believe that it is a solid axle, like a solid steel bar, essentially, or tube.
7,500, 5%. I got 1 minute. So I need to see some, I'm in, I'm out, I'm going to shake it all about. So Mark, yes, no?
I'm interested. I think the valuation's a little high, but I'm interested in the concept. I would be interested at maybe 5,000 for 5%.
5,000, 5%. I see, George, you're giving me a pen. Is that right? You're asking the old boy to call on you? That's good.
I'm doing some math with Mark.
Okay, so 5%, go.
Yeah, I'm not there. I think it's overvalued. I think there's a lot more hurdles, so I'm out.
Okay, George is out. So you got Mark saying 5%, $5,000. Matthew, in, out?
Oh, I'm on the fence here. I'm
Yes, you are.
Need another investor.
You got Mark up there playing, so I gotta go. I gotta make a deal, or I gotta get him on his way. 5% is what the current offered. I don't know, Brandon. Is that something that you and your mentor want to talk about?
Yeah, I would like to speak to my mentor about that.
I'm going to give you 30 seconds to do that. We need to go. And investors, let me know who else is interested in a 5%, $5,000 equity, or is it Mark alone?
Kirk?
Yeah, Joe.
I'm going to pass.
You're going to pass, Joe? Okay. Manny is out. George is out. Matthew. It's Matthew and Mark.
I'll support Mark, but I'm out, I think.
Okay. So it looks like $5,000, 5%. Mark, is that still something you want to pursue? And I need to have these guys wrap their phone call up.
Yes.
You're in for 5. Okay, can you get him to wrap up out there? I can't talk to him, so we need to know that we need to go. All right, this is a great part of live TV in the hatch. All right, what do you think? Got one deal, $5,000, 5% equity. That's it. Everybody else folded. It's Mark West, and he's proposing it.
Yeah, Mr. West, would you be able to do $1,000 for every for 1% equity, on top of the $5,000 for 5%, and then capping it out at 25% equity? If I
would be happy to do the 5,000 for 5%, and then after that, if we've crossed milestones and it still looks promising, I've done it with the 2 other hatchlings where we've continued the process. So I can't guarantee it, but I've done it the last 2 times, and if you're crossing milestones and we're making progress, absolutely.
5K, 5%. You're out. You got it?
I'm fine with that. I'm good with that.
Hot damn! Hot darn! Ooh, I'm alive. Hot darn! We got our first deal tonight. That makes me happy. Well, we got our second deal. We got an incubation deal. All right, congratulations. Yeah. Look at the Ziggy wall. They're going crazy. Mark, you just got yourself a can stand and a waist weight. And I'm telling you, I'm a user. I love them. I love these things. All right. Way to go.
I think it's a moneymaker.
It's a moneymaker, says Manny. I think you're right. All right, let's move on. We want you to not forget to make sure that you vote for the People's Choice Award. You can do that at bgsu.edu/hatchvote. We're going to be awarding that Eggie in just a few minutes. Also, a special thank you to Dr. Teresa Pop-Braun, one of our great sponsors. Teresa, your support is greatly appreciated. We could not do this broadcast without you. And let me just blow you a big kiss as they bring me back live. Mwah! Thank you so very much. All right, in January of 2020, we started the hatch with 10 hatchlings and 9 ideas. But for many of us in the past year, things have changed. Hatchlings Rachel Hanna and Zach Miller both graduated in May and have gone on to start their careers. They're both dynamic young people with bright futures who have chosen not to pitch tonight. However, I wanted you to get a chance to meet them. Here they are.
Hello, I'm Rachel Hanna, and I graduated in May with my Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration, specializing in business analytics and intelligence. I'm currently working at Cardinal Health within their pharmaceutical modernization program as an EDI analyst. My hatch idea was Ice Points, a set of safety ice picks designed for the outdoor enthusiast to keep them safe, specifically while enjoying their favorite winter sports on the ice. Ice picks was set to design with a safety whistle, a rescue strobe in case of an emergency, as well as wrist straps to keep the ice picks anchored to the user at all times. Throughout my experience with the Hatch, I was able to apply my knowledge that I gained from my marketing, accounting, and finance courses while being a student in the College of Business, as well as grow my skills as an entrepreneur, leader, and public speaker. I also was able to become more confident in business making decisions, which was really helpful after I graduated and began my career. But my Hatch experience wouldn't have been the same without my mentor, Paul Hooker. Each week, Paul pushed me to think bigger and be better. His life advice that he gave throughout his experience in the business world not only helped me in the Hatch, but helped me as a new graduate of the College of Business. I can't thank Paul enough for believing in me and putting a vested interest in not only my success in the Hatch, but as a graduate of BGSU. I know that with him, I have a mentor for life. So Paul, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I can't wait to see all the great things that you do in the future with the Hatch with your new hatchling. And then as for anybody who's considering doing the Hatch or is too afraid to apply because they don't think that they have a good enough idea, please apply, because you'd be surprised about how much development you can do throughout this program. Because although I'm not pitching tonight, I gained so much knowledge and so much in terms of entrepreneurship and leadership throughout this program that you can't get just by going on stage one night. It's about the journey, not about the end goal. So please apply. You won't regret it. And then as for my fellow hatchlings tonight that are pitching, good luck. I hope you hatch a deal, and go Falcons. Town's up.
Hi, my name is Zach Miller. I just graduated in the spring of 2020 with a sport management degree and a marketing minor. Due to there being no sports because of this global pandemic, I currently work with the Kenwood Auto Group as a sales and product specialist. My invention was MyViv, and what it was is an LED customizable sticker that is geared toward ride-sharing services such as Uber and Lyft. It'll display their logos and have a unique 3 to 4 digit code underneath that corresponds to the rider. This way, in cities such as New York City or Chicago or Los Angeles, you'll make sure you're getting in the correct car and not one of the millions of duplicate white Toyota Camrys that we all know are out there. What I learned over the course of this is entrepreneurs need to stay persistent, and we can't control everything, but we can control what we can control. And we just got to keep pushing hard to get through this. I'd like to thank Bob Menzel for everything he's done for me and all the connections that have helped me as well. He's really helped me along the way. And to all the other hatchlings, good luck.
Hey, Rachel and Zach, good luck. You both have bright futures. All right, it's hard to believe, but we are at the halfway point of the hatch. We are. At this point, we usually show a fun video of our hatchlings doing something crazy. But this year, as I said earlier, has been a tough year for all of us. We recently lost a special member of our team. I'd ask you to watch this video. We are deeply saddened to announce the passing of our friend and colleague, Brian V. Sokol, on July 27th, after a 7-month battle with brain cancer. Brian loved the Hatch and was one of our original Falcon investors. He remained in that role from 2013 through 2018. He was a proud 2-time BGSU alum and had a successful career as an executive in several automotive-related companies. Brian was also a serial entrepreneur, holding 7 patents for consumer products in the medical field. The Soak enjoyed golfing very much. In fact, at one point, he was the #1 ranked senior amateur golfer in Ohio. He would have wanted me to share that statistic with you. In 2019, Brian was hired as Associate Director for the Paul J. Hooker Center for Entrepreneurial Leadership and was our entrepreneur in residence. In his tenure, he worked with students and other clients to assist them in starting and growing their businesses. He was a man with a tremendous wit, great love for his family, golf, and a passion for Bowling Green State University. Brian, we miss you. Rest in peace, my friend. It just hit me that this is the first one we haven't done without him. So, in honor of Brian's love for BGSU's entrepreneurial program, I'm pleased to announce that Dean Ray Braun and Dr. Teresa Pop Braun have established the Brian V. Sokol Scholarship. This scholarship will be available to undergraduate students minoring in entrepreneurship. Tonight, your gift will be matched dollar for dollar up to $25,000 by the Brauns. If you would like your gift to be matched, please email your commitment to the College of Business fundraiser. Her name is Carly DeGroat. You can reach her via email right now at carlyg@bgsu.edu. You can see your screen. Let Carly know the amount of your gift, and she'll report back with the final tally tonight before the end of the hatch. And my family was very close to Brian, my wife Connie and Parker and I. And what I would like to do is just say that we're going to support this scholarship in the amount of $1,000 tonight. So that means the Bronze will match it, and we really appreciate them. And I know that Joe Fish would like to say just something about his friend Brian Sokol and add some scholarship money, I think.
Kirk, thank you. It's with a heavy heart that the 2020 hatch is being managed without Brian. He, number one, was a wonderful friend. He was a great supporter of the university and the college and the center. He was a great golfing partner of mine and a wonderful friend who also helped me with my own business. As a result of that, I'll never forget Brian, and I don't want the university to forget Brian. So myself and my family will be donating $10,000 for his scholarship fund.
That's amazing. We really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. So it's great that the Bronze are going to match dollar for dollar, and let's see how we can raise some money tonight for our friend Brian V. Sokol, that we miss very, very, very much. All right. He'd want me to say, on with the show, and I'm ready to go. Now, into the hatch, into the nest, it's Marissa Brubaker. Marissa is a lifelong resident of Bowling Green. She graduated with honors in 2018, earning her degree in communications, and has recently earned her MBA in the Schmidt-Horst College of Business. Marissa believes the market lacks functional and stylish high-impact sports bras. Her vision is to build a company that supports women in many aspects of their lives, literally and figuratively. She has been mentored by apparel merchandising and product development faculty member, Dr. Mariana Matova. Marissa, it's your turn to hatch a deal.
Good evening, Falcons. My name is Marissa Brubaker, and I'm here to talk about a topic near and dear to my heart, high-impact sports bras. I'm the founder of Forever Evolving. I'm seeking an investment of $10,000 for 10% equity in my business. Forever Evolving aims to fill a gaping hole in the market for bigger-busted women who exercise, including myself. But first, what exactly is a high-impact sports bra? It's a garment designed to stop body-jolting movements during intense exercise, such as jumping or running, which causes excess bouncing in every direction. I'm sure you can imagine why a large bust size might be an issue during physical activity. My target market is bigger-busted women ages 18 to 49 who work out, primarily in the US, and women who have not been able to and now can because of Forever Evolving. 22% of women have reported that they wear sports bras several times per week in the United States alone. That's 36 million women that need not one, but several high-impact sports bras. Did you know that the average bra size in America is a 34 double D? Apparel companies have failed to bridge the gap between style and functionality. This is due to the fact that 66% of women have reported that they experience breast pain during exercise, while others have admitted to avoiding it altogether due to a lack of support in their sports bras. Most sports bras currently on the market are bulky and unflattering or stylish and offer little support. So, what's the solution? Meet the Wrist Bra, designed by me for women. Columbus Apparel Studio, which we'll get to in a minute, also helped bring this design to life with their technical sketch. This bra bridges that gap between style and functionality and essentially creates an extension of the female body. The prototype that I have with me here today was created by the very talented Jane Morin, who also helped bring my design to life. Together, we have created an ultra-supportive, high-impact sports bra that transitions easily from the gym to everyday life, giving women the freedom they desire to not be limited, embarrassed, or deterred from physical activity by their own bodies. This patentable, revolutionary design will implement an extra elastic band through the middle layer of both cups of the sports bra. This eliminates vigorous movements and alleviates breast pain. These designs are what women have been looking for. It's a lifestyle product intended to empower women to feel confident in their sports bras and in their professional lives. I spent my summer working closely with Denise, former BGSU alum and owner and founder of Columbus Apparel Studio, and she has a message for you, Falcons.
Hi, I'm Denise Falter-Conklin. I'm a proud Bowling Green State University alum. I'm the owner of Columbus Apparel Studio, which we are apparel design and production facility here in Columbus, Ohio. Today I'm here to support Marissa on the Forever Evolving Sports Bra. The design feature of the sports bra is innovative and unique and solves a problem in the sports bra category. I'm looking forward to continuing to support Marissa in launching her product. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. My goal is to complete a short-run production of 100 units at $50 wholesale cost per bra. The additional $5,000 will go towards finalizing the prototype. MSRP is around $85 per unit. This will yield a $35 profit per bra and a 41% profit margin, recouping your investment in the first 285 bras that are sold. Denise and her team have also been working diligently on a prototype and confirmed that it takes 8 weeks to finalize it. Forever Evolving plans to hit the market in the first quarter of 2021, where we will target women who need sports bras for their New Year's exercise resolutions. However, Forever Evolving has more goals than just providing support. There was a time when I was putting myself through school and I was struggling when professional women supported me, which is why a long-term goal of the company is to create an endowment fund for women's education. In essence, this creates a company that supports women literally and figuratively. I just graduated with my MBA, and I am 100% committed to sharing my passion with other women. What do you say, Falcons? Are you ready to change women's lives and evolve forever with me?
Marissa Brubaker, Forever Evolving. It is a high-impact sports bra. $10,000 is her ask. 10% is the equity. $100,000 valuation. Mark, sportswear for women, sportswear for men, sportswear just in general. Billion-dollar market. I'm guessing Julie is an exercise fanatic. Let's talk sports bras.
Well, the athletic apparel here in Phoenix is standard attire during the summer because it's so hot. It's not just for working out, that's for sure. And Marissa, I really enjoyed your presentation, and I want to congratulate you on your progress you've made since April. Finding a design partner and actually working towards having samples during this COVID, you've kept your project moving forward, and that's very admirable. My question, I think there's going to be a lot of questions, so I'll just ask one of mine. Really gets to what makes this unique and patentable, and if you've done a provisional patent on it. So could you kind of clarify the unique patentability feature and the patent status or IP status that you work towards?
Absolutely. So yes, it is patentable. I'm working on a provisional patent as we speak right now, but what makes this high-impact sports bra actually unique is the prototype that I created with Jane Moore. And she's super talented, and she actually made this with her home sewing machine, which is incredible. She took an elastic band and essentially made it into the actual cup of the sports bra, which no other company has ever done before. And we strapped it from one end of the bra to the other end of the bra, and it served as a support system. And when I had a chance to actually try on this sports bra that we designed together as women, I realized that it provided the support that no other company had before.
So 10,000, 10%. Who's got another question?
I got a question.
I do, Kirk.
Okay, I'm going to go to Matthew, then I'm coming to George. Matt.
Well, I like the idea. When I looked at the my market research on this, and I had to do a lot because I was unfamiliar with this area. But I talked to both my female law partner and attorneys that work at my law firm, and their response was, definitely a need in this area. They were very happy that you chose to address this problem, and so I commend you on that, like tackling an issue that is an area of need. And then when I looked at the market, I see that you're not the only one tackling it. Nike's out there, Lululemon, Athleta, to name just a few. I wanted to see how your sports bra compared to the sports bra that's produced by the company SheFit. Are you familiar with SheFit?
Yes, that is a great question. They're actually the competitor that I wanted to speak about. So SheFit actually makes a sports bra, and they create this. Their company is high impact, right? So they're doing exactly what I'm doing. But what they have done is they've created a Velcro strap that straps below the actual breast, and then the two on the straps here. And what this has done is it creates high impact support for women, but it lacks that comfortability, the breathability, and just the overall functionality of the bra transition transitioning from the gym to everyday life. The idea of this company is to not only be high impact support, but also for women to transition easily from the gym to everyday life. And the product is just bulky and, in my opinion, unflattering. And when I started making these designs, I wanted to create something that gave women the freedom they needed to not feel deterred by their own bodies because of this big, bulky product that they had underneath of their sportswears, of their regular clothing, whatever it is. It's just a bulky design.
10 for 10.
Great answer. Thank you.
George.
Yeah, Matt hit on SheFit. That was one of my concerns, is the differentiability from SheFit, and that was a great answer. My other question is what route to the market would she take? Which retailers would be her priority, and has she baked that into her margin numbers as well?
So when you say retailers, that's my priority. Do you mean who I'm selling to in the market or who I would be? Okay. So I plan to start my own website and sell via online units.
So direct is her answer.
Direct.
I'm trying to.
Is that your long-term strategy as well?
Correct. I am open to licensing if that is something that we run into, but I would like to target this product and my idea at first using direct marketing.
I got 2 minutes. Manny, you want in here?
Okay.
Yes, I do want in. I have a lot of family members who've been complaining about this for some time. And I have one question, and then I'll make an offer.
All right.
The price. How competitive is this $85 versus what else is in the marketplace?
Great question. Thank you for asking that. So to give you a general idea, because I'm sure not many of you are purchasing sports bras currently, but they range anywhere from $40 to $90. And the reason why I hit that $85 market is because this is a premium product, and that's the message that I want to put out there. But what's so unique about this is I've confirmed with the manufacturer that I'm working with that it costs $50 per bra to make it wholesale, and then that $85 is the markup that I put on it. But this is also making this in the United States as well, so there is room to move that, but I placed it on the high end because this is a premium product.
So Manny, let's hear your offer. I'm waiting.
My offer is I'm fine with the equity and all of that. I do think, though, that there's some risk here. And so on top of the equity, I'd like to get $5 per unit sold until I recoup my initial investment.
$5 per unit until you get your initial $10,000. Is that what I'm hearing?
Correct.
Your initial $10,000.
Yes. And I'm happy with others I'm happy with others who might want to go in on that royalty structure, but that's what I'm thinking.
So I'm seeing some smiling going on. Anybody else want to get into this? Here's the offer. So you got 10 for 10, and then he wants $5 royalty on every bra you sell until he gets his 10K back. You can do the math on that.
Can I speak to my mentor really quick?
You certainly can. So we're going to do the do-si-do. We're going to put her on mute, and then investors, what I need to ask you, is there anybody else who wants to play in this round? Because I need to continue to move forward. Manny, I like the offer. 10 for 10 and $5 a throw. Mark's up there.
Manny, if you want a partner, I'll go in with you if you want to split it.
Yeah, of course. Happy to do it. Well, put it this way. My wife is watching live and just texted that the $85 price is actually not too much. So we have more confirmation, Mark.
So you've got a partnership going on.
Manny,
George, you're smiling.
I think this is a good crowdfunding opportunity.
Yeah, I would say I would jump in as well if Manny and Mark want a third partner, but I'll defer to them. If they just want to go, the two of them, that's fine. But if they want a third, I'll participate as well.
Okay, so I'm in.
I'm fine with that, Mark. More the merrier. I'm good with it. I think it's a good construct in terms of the offer.
Joe, you want in or
economically?
I've got a question that I'd like to have Marissa answer.
We need to cut this thing now. We got to get her off the phone, and we need to get this thing cut. Marissa, hang up the phone.
Okay. Okay, I will. I gotta go.
Gotta go. Okay, so you've got two investors who are going to split it. You've got Mark and Manny in, and you might have Georgia. You got George in. You got one question coming from Joe Fish, and as soon as Joe answers the question or asks the question, we're going to figure out what the deal is. Okay, Joe, floor's yours.
All right, Marissa, you all set for this? I have two daughters, both are marathoners, and each one of them said to me, Dad, this is a great idea. We love the idea. We would use the product. the biggest problem is all bras, sports bras, fit differently. With your product, do you have a different, strategy for fitting? Because everybody's different, all bodies are different, but the biggest concern that I would have is that you have one size tries to fit all. What would be your fitting competency?
We got to go, guys.
That's an excellent question. And to answer your question, that is something that's super important with a high-impact sports bra, because if it's not fitting you correctly, it's not doing its job. There is a company out there that sells regular bras, and they're called Third Love. And what they've done is they've created half increments for their bras. So obviously, I can't start with that because of cost. I pick 3 sizes. We sell 1 color. But as the company continues to grow and make more money, I plan to target half sizes and create a very user-friendly experience of size charts and guides online as they're purchasing their sports bras.
All right, 10 for 10, and I've got 3 in. Joe, you in? You out?
I'm in.
All right, so I've got 4 investors. Matt, you in? You out?
I think we're all in.
So you got 5. So I got 5 folks who want to do a 10 for 10 with a $5 residual. So are you okay with that?
We each get $1.
I am okay with that as long as the $5 per bra is capped out once each of them have recouped their investment.
Well, you're going to go
that
on
was
10,000.
my initial offer, yes.
Okay.
All right. So we've got 10 for 10 and $5 unit. Manny, give me the word again.
The deal is done.
It's $5 royalty on each,
thank you.
on each unit sold.
Okay, you're done. Take a bow. Way to go. Applause, Ziggy Wall.
All right.
Great job. I got to get it down here. 10 for 10 and a 5 residual. Okay. Excellent. We've got to move on. We're a little bit behind the 8 ball, and my producer is screaming at me. And you guys know it's not good when I have somebody screaming at me. Special thank you to AA Green and Mecca Management, 2 of our great sponsors. Thanks to the Green family and the Remus family for their continued support. Al, congratulations on your induction into our Entrepreneurial Hall of Fame. Next up, we have our first alumni hatchling, Jacob Clark. Jake is from London, Ohio, and graduated in 2020 from the College of Education and Human Development. Jacob is now a specialist in the Ohio Army National Guard. He's an avid waterfowl hunter and founder of Decoil. Mr. Clark was mentored by first-timer Eric Nolan, a 1982 business alum who serves as operating partner and chairman for SureWorks Industrial. Jacob, take your shot at the Falcons.
Hello, my name is Jacob Clark. I'm the CEO of Xander Outdoors. I'm an avid outdoorsman along with a member of the Ohio Army National Guard. Last year I brought you Decoil, and a year later we're in the works of a licensing deal to bring Decoil to the market. This year I'm bringing you the second product in my portfolio, the Save a Shot. This product has the potential to revolutionize the way shotgun owners go about organizing and keeping their shells out of the elements. I am seeking $10,000 for 10% for incubation. Many times a hunter hunts in nasty weather. From bone-chilling cold to freezing rain, they're most certainly in it. What is also out in the elements is the hunter's gear. Little consideration is given on the hunter's ammunition. A recent hunting trip proved the need for this product. After graduating BG in December, my father and I went hunting on Lake Erie. Once we were done hunting, we packed up our gear and put our ammunition in our blind bags and began to head in. Waves were crashing in the boat, getting everything soaked. This is nothing uncommon for waterfowl hunters. Once ashore, we found that water had made its way into our blind bag with 2 to 3 inches of standing water. Our shells were completely soaked, and the cardboard box was a squishy glob. This could cause rust to form on the shells and turn into a dangerous situation for the user. By shooting a bad shell and ruining your shotgun, along with potentially injuring yourself. This is something I saw a great deal of in the online hunting forums I'm a part of for Ohio. Hunters have a hard time grabbing the last few shells from the cardboard container they originally come in. There are over 8 million shotgun users in the United States. I conducted an online survey to show market interest, and of 300 hunters, 52% said that they use a protective container. Something that was brought up during the survey was that hunters have a hard time grabbing the last few shells out of the container, along with containers not being waterproof. Save a Shot solves these problems through its unique design. Save a Shot is a waterproof container that has a raising floor feature to where you can grab the top row of shells, turn a knob, and you have shells freshly at the top, ready to go. It has a strap that goes across to keep shells stationary so that they don't spill everywhere when you knock it over. Below the floor is a desiccant pack that removes all moisture, so no more rust. Through my survey showing my design, it raised the market interest from 52% to 86% were wanting to try Save a Shot. This is an outstanding 65% increase in protective container use. I had individuals asking if I had any Save a Shots available for them to use. This proves that nothing on today's market is working for these hunters. Once Save a Shot is out on the market, it will be sold by the container. For Save a Shot to make its first $100,000 in revenue at $12 per container wholesale, I would need to sell about 8,000 Save a Shot containers. I believe this is a business to where 5 to 10% of avid hunters will want this product. That is between 4 and 9 million in revenue. I'd like to thank Mark West for being a great partner for Decoil. I'm looking for a partner who's ready to move quickly through incubation and get this product to the market. So Falcons, who's ready to join me and start this journey while we save some shells along the way? Thank you.
Jacob Clark, Save a Shot, 10,000, 10%. Joe, a lot of hunters up there in Connecticut, a lot of them probably in New York City these days. People, I'm just messing with you. So yeah, up in the Northeast, you've got Vermont. We've been in New Hampshire, Maine, beautiful area, and I'm guessing a lot of duck hunters. So Save a Shot.
Okay, well, I'm going to come clean that I'm not a duck hunter. Doesn't mean that I wouldn't be at some point. But a few questions. First of all, Jacob, congratulations on your decoil. I know that you've done a lot of work and there's been a lot of excitement behind it, and I hope your licensing goes through. Is Save a Shot patentable, and where are you with the patent process?
So to answer that, through incubation, we're going to go through some legal steps to figure out what truly is patentable and what's not. Through my research, as of right now, yes, because there's nothing on the market with the raising floor feature, the knob, or the elastic strap that goes across the top for anti-spilling.
So I just heard something new.
And would you be...
Go ahead, Joe, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Would you be looking to go the licensing route, or would you... It seems to me that you've got a great passion for hunting and the outdoors. If you could put an umbrella together of products, brand the products, I'm a big person in branding, and either license that and in its entirety or go direct marketing, I think would be a good idea. But what are your thoughts in terms of going to market?
Through going to market, I'm not opposed for licensing or selling straight to consumers. As of right now, my numbers are for to consumers, but not to businesses. So with that, the numbers would change through incubation and finding out those numbers.
And what's your current margin on your plan? What's your current margin?
Current margin is roughly 65%.
So I'm hearing something different. Okay. I'm hearing 10 for 10, but now I hear incubation. In incubation, what we usually do is do 5 for 5. So we start at $5,000 and we work our way up. So what I need to know is what's your pleasure, and if incubation is something you want to do, are you willing to take that 5 for 5? And then if that's the case, then we've got a little bit different deal. Anybody else have questions for Jacob? Jacob, you're smiling. Is that good? Matthew and then George. So and then Mark. We'll go around the horn. Matthew, we've got about 3 minutes. We've got to roll.
Okay, I'm a big fan of Jacob. I love that he's coming up with these inventions in the hunting space. Decoil, I'm a big fan of that. Jacob, I want to know what you know about MTM Case Guard in Dayton, Ohio. I want to hear about what you know about their ammo cans and also Mr. Lid.
So MTM, they have a good amount of products out there. They have one that is 25 individual slots for your shells, but there is nothing if you were to drop that and it busts open, your shells go everywhere. With Save a Shot, it has that strap that goes across the top to keep it from spilling.
Okay.
And for the team, I think the design is unique based on my market research. I don't know if there are any other patents out there, but it definitely has a lot of functionality compared to other things that I saw, just merely just waterproof ammo cans in the market. So I was excited about the product.
Counselor, do I hear an offer coming from you?
Well, sometimes you bet on the horse and not the product. I would always bet on Jacob.
Okay, George, go ahead. George, you have the floor.
Yeah, quick question, Jacob.
Yes.
2
You've
minutes.
got National Guard experience. You've probably looked into the U.S. military. How do they solve this issue, and would they be a potential market if they don't have a solution today?
So through our training and everything, we still use cardboard boxes. We do have we do have bags for our dunnage, but that's it. There's nothing there to hold our shells. We do have those MOLLE straps that go across our chest, but that's it. There's nothing there for additional storage.
Mark.
Interesting. Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
Mark.
Hey, Jake. Tell me about how does the lift work? How complex is it? You and I have been through some product development work, and sometimes things get pretty complex when you think they're simple. How does the lift work? Because I think that's the most complex part of the product.
So with the lift, it has cables attached to the knob, and those cables run the inside of the device through the top of it. And every time you turn, that cable gets wound up. Kind of like there's a device that you can do for shoes, and it's the same concept.
All right, so I've got less than 30 seconds. I need to know, Jacob, what is this deal? Is this $5,000 for 5% incubation? Or are you doing a $10,000 for 10%? I'm a little confused.
This is going to be $10,000 for 10% because I've been through the process. I know how expensive it gets.
Okay. All right. So, any offers on the table? I don't see any hands in the air. Mandy, I didn't let you in here. I'm sorry. Do you want to get in?
I just want to thank Jacob for his service to the country.
Yep,
I think it's a great idea, but not a fit for what I do.
Okay. Manny's out.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Joe, in or out?
I'd be a support.
Go ahead, George.
I'm in.
I'd support incubation if he's open to it.
Okay, so I've got Joe, support incubation.
Yes.
Mark, support incubation.
I'll let Matt go first.
Matt.
I mean, I'd support Jacob. Like I said,
yes
I
or
like the product.
So that's a yes. So I got 3. Mark?
So sounds like we have an incubation offer, 3 in, all in.
Okay, it's 3 and all in.
5%,
Right, 5%, $5,000, 5%. That's the incubation deal. Is that satisfactory to you, Jacob?
Can I take a quick second to talk to my mentor?
You've got less than 30 seconds.
All right.
So you bet. So that's the way it works. We're cutting deals tonight. You guys are amazing. It's interesting, right? Because I'm standing here watching you, and I know there's some latency in my communication. So hats off to all of you guys. Thank you so much for doing this. All right, we're going to get him back here and going to see if we're going to take this 5 for 5 incubation. If not, he can walk on it. Ziggy Wall, give me some love, Ziggy Wall. Yeah. That's what we need right now. All right, I need to wrap it up. What's the story?
All right.
You going to walk on this deal, or are you going to take a 5 for 5?
I'll take that deal, and then at the end of incubation, I'd like to give you guys another ask to go to the next step.
I think that's fair. They can say no. They can say you betcha.
Fair.
If you've done everything you're supposed to do, and you've got
That's great.
Way to go.
All right.
We got another deal, 5 for 5 in incubation. Congratulations, Jacob Clark. Yay! We need to have some applause. That's what we're missing. We need some applause. Okay, let's move on. You know, we tip our hat to the Wood County Economic Development Commission for their support. Wade Gottschalk and board members, thank you so very kindly. We really appreciate your support. And then also, the dean was just here, whispered in my ear, Dean Braun was here, whispered in my ear that we have $17,700 committed right now for the Brian V. Sokol Scholarship. He would like to see additional $7,300 raised tonight because he wants to match it. He and Teresa want to match it with their $25,000. We got a little bit of time. Oh, George? I can't hear George. Go ahead, George.
I said put add 1,000 to that from me, if you don't mind, Kirk.
We'll do it. $1,000. We're at 18,700. So thank you, George. Really appreciate that. Oh, Manny, go ahead.
Same from me.
Thank you so very much. So now we're at 19,700. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. 19,700. Dean, so we're working hard. All right. On with the show. Are you guys ready? We got 2 more deals to cut, and then we can relax. Please help me welcome Ashton Johnson to the nest. Ashton hails from Marion, Ohio, and is a senior in the College of Education and Human Development, majoring in the inclusive early childhood education. She's a vice president of the BGSU Swim Club, as well as treasurer of the National Honor Society fraternity Kappa Delta Pi. Her idea, Zip-a-Dee Shoodah, came out of one of her education classes. Ms. Johnson has been mentored by Ed Leadham, longtime mentor. Ed, we really thank you for your service. A retired financial services exec and a 1989 BGSU alum. Ashton, let's see if you can zip up a deal.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ashton Johnson. I'm a senior in the Inclusive Early Childhood Education program here at Bowling Green State University. A little background on me. I'm the vice president of BGSU Club Swim Team, the foundation chair of Kappa Delta Pi fraternity. I'm a member of Alpha Chi Omega sorority. I juggle student teaching classes and several jobs. So then I decided to apply for the 2020 Hatch program in my free time. I was inspired from past teachers whom taught me to help all students beyond classroom learning and essentials. As you can see with the inclusion definition, it is very important for me for all students to feel included no matter their ability or disability. I had a class several years ago where we had to invent a product to help the needs that we were seeing in the classroom. This then led me to develop Zip-a-Dee Shoodah. Zip-a-Dee Shoodah is a shoe with a unique zipper placement. As you can see in the animation, the zipper starts at the opening of the shoe, drops down towards the base and around the toe and onto the other side, thus causing the top part of the shoe to basically flap open for easier placement and adjustment of the foot into the shoe. There is no need for tying, and putting your shoes on can be done in one simple zip. For my primary target market, I focused on elderly. I found a study in 2016 that showed that there were 49.2 million people in the United States who are ages 65 and up. Of this population, 20.4 recorded to have a disability, and of this, 4.6 are ambulatorily disabled. Ambulatory refers to walking for when you hear me use it throughout the rest of this presentation. In the same study I referenced earlier, I found that there are 74.1 million children in the United States. Of this population, 5.7 are recorded to have a disability, and of this, only a small percentage are ambulatorily disabled. But after talking with several parents of young children, they all said that this shoe would benefit all kids with or without a disability. I also found that this shoe can be very applicable to those with Parkinson's disease or stroke victims because these conditions affect their functionality, which makes it difficult for them to tie their shoes. I thought the placement of the zipper on the shoe was very unique, and I thought my product would be the only one of its kind. But after doing much extensive market research, I found another company with the same zipper placement. But here's why my product would be better. Zip-a-Dee Shoodah can offer many different types of customizability options. We can offer different types of colors, designs, and styles of shoe. Children looking for a Zip-a-Dee Shoodah product can find a tennis shoe style with a bright pink sparkly design, while adults or elderly may lean more towards a leather dress shoe with the same zipper placement. We can also offer customizability options to fit ankle and foot brace needs. The circumference of the shoe can also be elastic to stretch the fit unique circumstances. As stated before, our market audience is very broad, and with the popularity and convenience of the shoe, more people will get to know about it. For my marketing distribution model, I went to license Zip-a-Dee Shoodah to larger firms such as Reebok, Dr. Comfort, and Nike. These larger distribution companies have marketing capabilities that we wouldn't be able to do just yet. So that's why licensing Zippity Shootout to these larger companies will make it better for us to then earn royalties off of each sale. So Falcon investors, to license Zippity Shootout to larger manufacturing companies, I need your help. So who's in for $7,500 for 5% ownership of Zippity Shootout? Let's put some zip in your shoes.
Put some zip in your shoes, Manny. Ashton is, she's the founder of Zippity Shootout, $7,500 ask, 5% equity. Talk to me.
No, it's a great name. Love the name of the product.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I think it's very clever. I understand the need, but it just seems like there's a fair amount of competition and substitutes. Talk to me a little bit about, one of the obvious substitutes are just slip-on shoes of some kind.
Yes.
Whether it be, there are a variety of them, and I believe there are some competitors. If you could just speak to me about that, and then I have one last question once you answer this.
Yeah, of course. So there are the competitors of like Crocs that are easy slip-on shoes, and then there's also the competitors of like Velcro shoes. So with my target audience being elderly, I researched some things that people said, and they do not like that bulkiness of Velcro shoes, and also they don't like how it labels them as old. They would rather have something that's more inclusive, where it can really blend in, and like you can't tell that, oh, because of my age or because of my disability, I have a different type of shoe than what you would be wearing. And then like you said, my competition, I do have one competitor that I have found so far, and that is Billy Footwear. They have the same zipper placement, but they don't really have much customizability options as I would like to offer. As I have stated before, I really want to offer customizability options to fit people that have foot and ankle brace needs. And with that need, a lot of people are getting bigger size shoes, so their toes aren't really fitting correctly just to fit that foot brace need. But with my shoes, their feet would be fitting perfectly. It would just be that circumference of the opening of the shoe that we can make larger with either elastic or just a size difference.
Mandy, that was a big answer. What's your follow-up?
Follow-up is gross margins. If I read the business plan correctly, they seem to be about 35%, which seems pretty narrow to pay everything else. Could you speak to that?
Can you repeat that question? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. In the business plan, I read that the gross margins for the business was about 35%. Did I have that right? And if so, it seems that doesn't give you a lot of room to invest in marketing and anything else.
Off the top of my head, I don't know if I can answer that question right now, but later on, I would love to look back into my investor memorandum and see what you're talking about and have a conversation like that.
Okay.
So, Mandy, here's a fair question. She's an education major, and she may not know what gross margin is at this point in time. Not as an entrepreneur, that doesn't mean that she can't, but she's going to rely on somebody to. So that's what. Let me just jump in there and give that to her. Okay. So that's a fair question. Matthew, go ahead.
Yeah, Ashton, I just want to say I think it's great that you're looking at universal design and footwear and
got 3 minutes.
Adaptive clothing. I think that's a great market. I appreciate the fact that you're looking in that area. I found the Billy Footwear kind of too close for me, and if you're looking to license it, you really need to make sure that what you're doing is patentable. Unless you've developed a strong brand and you're licensing that trademark. So for me, those reasons I'm out, but I like that you're in this space. I like that you're thinking in this space. And I'd love to see future ideas in this area.
Very good. Joe.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Joe.
Ashton, I'm in my office and I'm looking at my bookshelf, and on the bookshelf, which is a great book by Phil Knight called Shoe Dog, that business that you're going to get into, and I compliment what you've done in your work. It is just in a very, very aggressive industry, and because of that, I just think unless there's something totally unique with your product, it's going to be a tough road to hoe for you. So for that reasoning, I'm out.
Okay, that's good. I got 2 out. Manny, you in or out?
I'm out.
Okay, so there's 3 out. So let me see if there's any other deals out there. George, you in, you out? You got some questions? I've got about 2 minutes.
No, the overlap with Billy Footwear concerns me, especially if we're looking at a licensing deal. I'm out.
Okay, Mark, in or out?
I'm out also, but I'd like to offer a suggestion or something to think about. I read in your materials that the product
could have some different functionality designed for braces or ankle issues.
Yes.
And you might want to consider trying to get, narrowing your scope and starting there with a subset of the market, maybe to look at that, which may skirt you around some of the IP issues and whatnot. Something just to think about. I admire the vision and what you're trying to accomplish. I just think you're going to have some IP challenges.
Actually, you know what? Here's what we say. It's not personal. It's just business. So congratulations. You worked really hard. We're really proud of you. And this is something that you can work with us in the future. You really can. You and I can work on it because I know you're passionate about it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You've done a great job.
Thank you so much.
Look at your Ziggy wall. They're going crazy over there for you. Awesome job. All right.
Great job.
Thank you.
We want to make sure that you don't forget to vote for the People's Choice Award. Very soon, we'll be awarding the Eggie to the hatchling that you think has the best idea. Tonight, there is that address. I think it's BGSU vote. Oh, wait a minute. BGSU edu/hatch vote. I'm getting old. I can't see the screen. All right. I also have to tell you some really, really great news. $22,500 have been raised for the Brian V. Sokol Scholarship so far. $22,500. That's amazing. The dean wants to make sure we hit that $25,000 mark. He and Teresa want to write that check to match, and that would be a great gift for our great friend Brian Sokol to last forever in his memory. All right, please welcome our last hatchlings to the broadcast, the team of Sean O'Donnell and Jake Stucker. Both of these gents are Bowling Green residents. Both are sophomores in the College of Business, and both are minoring in entrepreneurship. Who would have thunk it? Sean and Jake have been working on an agricultural filter that attaches to field tile to filter out pollutants from runoff. This device will help farmers increase their yields and protect local environments. Have I piqued your interest yet? The teammates have been mentored by rookie Rich Myers, a 1971 College of Business alumni, grad businessman and farmer. Lads, it's now your turn to strike a deal.
Good evening, Falcons. My name is Sean O'Donnell.
And my name is Jake Stucker, and we are both second-year students in the Schmidt-Horst College of Business and the founders of Alto Filters. Sean and I began working on this concept about 3 years ago back in high school.
It began as a hypothetical project to improve the quality of one of Ohio's best natural resources, Lake Erie. So let's get into that a bit more specifically. Why do we need Alto?
So there are two reasons for which we can answer that question. Let's start with the environment. Excess nitrates and phosphates wash into our waterways and fuel the growth of toxic algae blooms. This can lead to many different health problems, but also just disgusting water. A notable example would be the 2014 Toledo water crisis.
These nutrients are found in many products, including farm and commercial fertilizers, along with lawn applications and many other organic wastes that just end up in our waterways.
Nutrient runoff is an issue for much of the country, but it heavily impacts our area in particular. So this brings us to the second reason for why we need Alto.
The damages of our disgusting water extend far beyond the obvious billions lost in recreational, tourism, real estate, and fishing industries. Even slight delays to a water treatment plant's ability to produce clean water cost the U.S. billions of dollars every day.
Simply put, we aim to mitigate these problems.
So what will Alto make?
Our F-Series filter, F for farmers, is an easy-to-install, low-maintenance insert for tile drainage, the pipes commonly seen sticking out of fields and into ditches. With its perforated end cap handle and backing support, it can be easily installed and removed.
As for our G-Series, G for government, it'll be a low-maintenance filtration cylinder that rests at the bottom of runoff ditches. Both of these products passively reduce nitrates and phosphates through bioreactions and nutrient absorption.
Our design allows for a simple collection and reuse of the nutrients after the filter has reached its capacity.
So who will Alto be selling to?
As implied earlier, our F-Series will be sold to farmland owners, as they would likely be reimbursed by the state or federal government as it is a conservation product.
We will begin selling Alto in Northwest Ohio due to the heavy usage of tile drainage in the area, with plans to expand into the rest of Ohio and later on other parts of the U.S.
Our G-Series will be sold to governments looking to take a more active role in protecting their local bodies of water, and it would likely be maintained by groups such as county engineers. Now, you might be wondering, how does Alto benefit the farmer?
With programs like H2 Ohio pledging nearly $1 billion over the next 10 years towards conservation efforts, farmers could potentially be paid for using Alto products.
On top of that, it reduces a relatively new risk, and that is farmer liability for nutrient runoff. On top of that, the F-Series also slows the water flow, allowing for better nutrient absorption into the crop roots and soil without impeding on the overall purpose of the tile drainage.
Here we can see that the F-Series will be sold in the 4 most common sizes of tile drainage.
Our G-Series design ensures that we need only really one size to fit most ditches.
So let's look at our projections.
When calculating, we suppose that for every acre of tiled land, there is at least one outlet, when the average is likely much more than that. Therefore, our market potential is likely even greater.
Year 1 estimations are based upon us obtaining 0.5% of the market share in the Maumee watershed area, with years 2 and 3 reflecting expansion into the rest of Ohio with 0.4 and 0.7% respectively.
So Falcons, we are seeking $10,000 for 10% equity in Alto. With these funds, we plan to produce at least 100 F-Series and 10 G-Series for lab and field testing, composition refinement, and preliminary startup costs.
But Falcons, we haven't even told you the best part yet. Via an option agreement, we have the opportunity to test proven filtration technology developed by BGSU. And if successful, we could choose to permanently integrate it into our product.
With your help, we can begin testing our concepts and make Alto a reality.
So Falcons, which one of you wants to help us create a clear future?
It's Sean and Jake, Alto Filters, $10,000 is the ask, 10% equity. George, I know you're into water filtration. You're probably a big farmer back in the day. Talk to me about Alto Filters.
Yeah, suspenders are not a good look on me, Kurt, but thank you. Sean and Jake, I share the North Coast with you, so this is a problem close to my heart. I'd like to go swim again in a blue lake rather than a green one. I don't know a lot about farmers nor the government as it relates to this. What kind of feedback have you gotten as you've gone out and spoken with your potential customers, both on the farm and the government side? What has been their feedback and their thoughts?
On the farmer side, we've gotten a couple different things. And many of them are very enthusiastic about it, and they see the potential for this. They see the benefits of it, and they'd be happy to work with us. And then they also, one thing that we've heard, though nutrient runoff can come from many different places, one possible direction it's seen coming from is agricultural runoff. But our G-Series that we referred to has the ability to capture any runoff that's running through the ditch. The F-Series is there for specifically agricultural.
Great question, George. We've got about 4 minutes. Additional questions. This is an interesting opportunity. I've watched and have been part of the development with these guys. They're hard workers. They get it. They understand what's going on, and they've got a great mentor along with them. Additional questions? Yeah, Mark.
Guys, great presentation, and it's great to see two friends working together on an important topic like this. I've got a lot of questions, but my first one, and then I'll turn it over to some others, is what is Alto and then the licensing agreement with Bowling Green? What do each of those parties bring? What do each of those bring to the party? You kind of mentioned that there's secret sauces in both of them. Kind of explain so we understand the differentiation between it.
I got 3 minutes. Right, so we have developed our own sort of secret sauce, as you say, and but over the summer, we came in contact with BGSU. We found out through their research that they had developed a filtration material, and so that was doing exactly what we were interested in doing. So we pursued an option agreement with them so that we could potentially use their filtration material along with ours in our product.
Yeah, so as it currently stands, we will be, with this option agreement, we will be testing theirs in tandem with our product, and if it's successful, we can later integrate it. If we choose to go a different direction and solely use our own secret sauce, then that option totally exists as well. And as for Alto, it is the Finnish word for wave, and we sort of see that as representing how our benefits from Alto
I've got 2 minutes.
will ripple through.
10,000, 10%. Joe, shake your head. You in, you out?
It's interesting. I think the group has done a great job, or the tandem has done a great job in creating this. My question is, why haven't larger companies come out with what you have designed here? I mean, pollution is such a problem. Water content is such a problem, particularly in the Midwest and the Northeast. Why hasn't somebody else come out with this, and what makes yours unique?
I guess what's commonly seen in other areas is it's often just left up to conservation practices, such as wildlife buffer zones and cover crops, including mulch beds. Our package itself sort of takes a different approach where it combines a lot of the different technologies and materials used in those things and brings it into one.
Our product isn't used in opposition of any other product. It would be used along with, because farmers are usually pretty proactive with conservation efforts.
So anybody want to make an offer here? 10 for 10. These guys have been working since they've been in high school. I'm searching for a deal here. 10 for 10. Not hearing 10 for 10. Anybody got an offer at all? Should they just walk? I got 30 seconds.
I'm in.
Mark is in. He wants to do some incubation, or at least be in for 10 for 10. What are you saying? Mark,
I'd like to hear if any of the others are interested in it too. But I'm in for it. I think in doing that, I would like us to try to quantify the value proposition a little bit more with the farmers first before we invested in some of the testing. But if we made it through that, I would be supportive of what they're proposing.
Okay, so
Mark,
go, Manny.
I was going to say I'm supportive of incubation. If you are to prove exactly what you're bringing up, I think it's a terrific idea, but there's a lot of complexity as it relates to regulations, the value proposition to the farmers, et cetera. So I'm supportive of incubation if you are.
All right, so I've got 2 incubators. Anybody else want to go in for incubation? I need 3 to get it to go, and I'm out of time. Joe says...
I'll be your third.
Joe says he's a third. Matthew?
Yeah, I'll support it.
Yeah.
3 you're in, we're all in.
All right, so George, you're shaking your head, you're in, so we get 5 for 5. Yep. All right, way to go, guys. We're going to incubate, if that's okay with you. That's the first step. Is that a deal that you're interested in?
Or? Yeah, we're definitely interested.
All right, 5 for 5. All right, give yourselves a round of applause while I write this deal up. 5 for 5, incubation.
Good job, guys.
Thank you.
I've got a couple of other things I need to share with you. First off, the dean is standing off to my side. He's going to be here in a second. I'm happy to announce that we have raised $25,000 for the Brian V. Sokol Scholarship.
Right.
Thank you, Teresa and Ray Braun. Carly Carly DeGroat, thank you so much for taking and handling that kind of business. I also have to thank a couple of people around us. I've got a wonderful lady in front of me. Her name is Krista Ehrman. She is an incredible producer, and a whole group of people around me. I can't name them all, but Ryan and his team from R&L, they are superb. Thank you, investors. You have done a tremendous job, and the students, of course. We do this because it's what we do. We want to make sure that Bowling Green State University stays on the map entrepreneurially, and we are allowed to help you guys move through your lives in entrepreneurial future. All right. What else have I done? I think we're ready for the Eggie, Dean Braun. Allie Hogue has created this beautiful glass master egg that's been out on the dais out there. I can't get my mask on because the dean's coming back and I want to make sure I protect myself. So, Dean, I think we've said thank you to everybody. I think we're ready to go ahead and do these announcements. And what a heck of a night. It's been crazy for us here. I hope you have been, who've been watching, have enjoyed it. Tweet about us, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, and here is the boss.
Thank you, Kirk. Another wonderful job of hosting the Hatch. Appreciate all the great work you've done. And now for the winner of the Aggie, the 2020 Aggie Award is being given to Sean O'Donnell and Jake Stucker. Congratulations, Sean and Jake.
Way to go.
And congratulations again to all of the hatchlings for their hard work and perseverance formulating and presenting their business ideas. Many thanks also to the Falcon investors, the hatchling mentors, and to everyone who made this broadcast possible, including Hatch sponsors PNC, Wood County Economic Development Commission, and Dr. Teresa Popron. Thanks to our audience for watching our live broadcast tonight. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. See you next year for Hatch 2021. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.